Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashodhana Dana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashodhana Dana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashodhana Dana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashodhana Dana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Shri Radha Madhava ki, Shri Shri Radha Radhanath ki. Jaya Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parivrakacharya Stotara Shata Shri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Senapati Bhakta Srila Prabhupada ki. Mantra Upasaka Srila Prabhupada ki. BBT Founder Srila Prabhupada ki. ISKCON Samstapakacharya Srila Prabhupada ki. Preeminent Shiksha Guru Srila Prabhupada ki. Savior of the whole world Srila Prabhupada ki. Jaya Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parivrakacharya Stotara Shata Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki. Prem se Koho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki. Shri Shri Gopal Gopinath Shama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki. Shri Mayapur Dham ki. Shri Ganga Maya ki. Shri Yamuna Maya ki. Bhakti Devi ki. Tulsi Maharani ki. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki. Gaura Premanande. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 15, entitled King Prithu's Appearance and Coronation. We're reading text number 5 and text number 6. I'll read text 5 and we can do text number 6 together. Iyam cha sudati devi guna bhushana arachir nama vararoha pritum eva varundati. Translation. The female has such beautiful teeth and beautiful qualities that she will actually beautify the ornaments she wears. Her name will be Archi. In the future, she will accept King Prithu as her husband. Text number 6. You can repeat after me. Esha Sakshad Darer Amsho Jato Loka Rirakshaya Yam Cha Tat Para Hi Shrir Anujagya Anapayini Esha Sakshadared Amsho Esha Sakshadared Amsho Jato Loka Rirakshaya Jato Loka Rirakshaya Iyam Cha Tat Para Hir Shrir Iyam Cha Tat Para Hir Shrir Anujagya Napayini Anujagya Napayini Esha Sakshadare Ramsho Chato Lokari Rakshaya Iyam Cha Tatpada Hi Shrir Anujagya Napayini. Esha Sakshadare Ramsho Chato Lokari Rakshaya Iyam Cha Tatpada Hi Shrir Anujagya Payini. Esha Sakshadare Ramsho Jato Lokari Rakshaya Yam Cha Tat Parat Hishri Anujagya Napayini Esha Sakshadare Ramsho Jato Lokari Rakshaya Yam Cha Tat Parat Hishri Anujagya Napayini Esha Sakshadare Ramsho Jato Lokari Rakshaya Yam Cha Tat Parat Hishri Anujagya Napayini Esha, this male, Sakshat, directly, Hare, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Amsa, partial representative, Jata, born, Loka, the entire world, Rirakshaya, with a desire to protect, Yam, this female, Cha, also, Tatpara, very much attached to him, E, certainly, Shri, the goddess of fortune, Anujagya took birth. Anapayini, inseparable. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki. In the form of King Prithu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has appeared through a part of his potency to protect the people of the world. The goddess of fortune is the constant companion of the Lord, and therefore she has incarnated partially as Arachi to become King Prithu's queen. Purport. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that whenever one sees an extraordinary power, he should conclude that a specific partial representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is present. There are innumerable such personalities, but not all of them are direct Vishnu Tattva plenary expansions of the Lord. Many living entities are classified among the Shakti Tattvas. Such incarnations, empowered for specific purposes, known as Shakti Avesh avatars. King Prithu was such a Shakti Avesh avatar of the Lord. Similarly, Arachi, King Prithu's wife, was a Shakti Avesh avatar of the goddess of fortune. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Be'evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutadevi Pranamami Hari Priya Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I'll read the translation again. In the form of King Prithu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has appeared through a part of his potency to protect the people of the world. The goddess of fortune is the constant companion of the Lord, and therefore she has incarnated partially as Arachi to become King Prithu's queen. So this chapter is entitled the King Prithu's Appearance and Coronation. And we will see in the following verses that after the appearance of Prithu and his installation as the king of the world is being inaugurated, the demigods from all over the universe will appear, and they'll come with gifts or presents to give King Prithu. And with Prithu Maharaja's appearance, even the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan, also makes his appearance. And it's described that Lord Narayan will gift a duplicate Sudarshan Chakra to Prithu Maharaj. We'll also find that the Brahmanas who are giving the position of king to Prithu Maharaj will offer many kinds of praises and glorifications. And Prithu Maharaj will actually reject these praises. And he will tell these Brahmanas that actually he hasn't achieved any of these things that they are glorifying him about. And we see that just from his interaction, that Prithu Maharaj is vastly different from his father, Vena. Vena actually, after being installed as the king, he thought himself to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and even went as far as saying that he should be worshipped, that he is the representative of all the demigods, and so on. Towards the end of the previous chapter, where the Brahmanas found, where the Brahmanas were fed up with King Vena, they uttered a curse and caused caused King Vena to die or to leave his body. And the kingdom without a king started to bring about many kinds of adverse reactions. People were becoming sinful, and thieves and plunderers started to spring to come about. And so the Brahmanas had decided to realize that they really need a king to be installed and to become the authority of the world. And so they took King Vena's body and they churned it with the purpose of begetting a son of King Vena to rule the world. And the first time that they did this, from the body of King Vena came a new race of human being called the Nishada. And it's described that this Nishada race is very sinful, and they've imbibed the characteristics of King Vena. Then after, he wasn't qualified to be the king, so they didn't install him. But afterwards, they purified the body of King Vena, and then they churned the body again. And this time, after the body of King Vena had been purified, this is when Prithu Maharaj had appeared. And alongside Prithu Maharaj, Queen Arachi had also appeared. Shri Shri Radha Radhanath ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So both Prithu Maharaj and Queen Arachi are pure devotees of the Lord. They had come from the spiritual world. And when they appeared, the Brahmanas were very pleased, because now they had gotten a qualified king and queen to rule the world. And we can see from this verse that both Prithu Maharaj and Queen Arachi are both understood to be Shaktiya Vesh avatars. They are empowered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the Goddess of Fortune respectively. There is a lesson to be learned from the birth of Nishada, the elder brother of King Prithu, and from the birth of Prithu Maharaj. And it's directly related to the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Prabhupada has given us two ways to expand the Hare Krishna movement. And the most common way is through book distribution and other preaching activities. Most of us have come to Krishna consciousness through these activities. But just like the Nishada, we are in the same position. Just like the Nishada shared the same consciousness as Vyana. In the same way, we have parents who are absorbed in the materialistic way of life. And as their child, offspring, we are born through that same consciousness. And so we've gotten that same nature. So even though we've come to Krishna consciousness, at some point we find that we'll have difficulties in our practices in Krishna consciousness, and this is due to materialistic attachments. And sometimes during our practices we might find ourselves stuck while progressing. On the other hand, we have the birth of Prithu Maharaj. Just like how the Nishada was born from Vyana's body, Prithu Maharaj was also born from Vyana's body. But the difference was that Vyana's body was purified, and because Vyana's body was purified, it allowed for the appearance of a purified personality, which in this case is Prithu Maharaj. This is the second way that Prabhupada has given, a second method that Prabhupada has given to expand the Krishna consciousness movement, and that is to have Krishna conscious children. The devotees engaged in Krishna consciousness purify themselves, follow the 4 regulative principles, chant 16 rounds minimum, engage in practical devotional service. All of these are purifications. And by the time the devotee decides to have children, the soul that descends to become your child will be someone that's more elevated than you because of your endeavor to purify yourself. And in the same way, that child, once exposed to Krishna consciousness, will also grow up in the association of devotees and will also follow the 4 regulative principles, chant 16 rounds minimum, engage in devotional service, and they will also become purified. And when it's time for them to have their own children, they will attract an even better, highly elevated soul to become part of the family. And if this goes on generation after generation after generation, eventually the better quality souls, which will attract even better quality souls, will eventually attract a pure devotee to take birth in your family. And sometimes it may even attract the Supreme Personality of Godhead to also be part of your family. So there is 2 ways to spread Krishna consciousness. The fast way, where we have to preach and preach to Nishada-like people. Some will take to Krishna consciousness and succeed. Some will fail. Some will be stuck where they are in their Krishna consciousness. Some of them will have their intelligence stolen away by the variegatedness of Mahaprasad, and so on. This method is a fast method, but it comes with risk. The second way is the Prithu way. Raise one's own consciousness in order to become Krishna conscious children. And this method is a very slow way, but it's a guaranteed way. There's a pastime that involves the Raghu dynasty coming from Ikshvaku. And for some reason, an offense was made, and they had a sinful reaction which continued generation after generation. And the head of the Raghu dynasty, after making inquiries, found out that the only way to free himself from this reaction was to bathe in the Ganges river. But unfortunately, at that period of time, the Ganges river could only be found in the heavenly planets. It did not exist on this planet. So, the head of the Raghu dynasty had underwent severe penances and performed severe austerities in order to gain enough piety in order to attract the Ganges river to come down to this earthly planet. But he failed. And then the mantle was taken on by his son, who also engaged himself severely, but he also failed. And then he continued generation after generation of failure after failure. Until someone finally succeeded and was able to bring the Ganges river to the earth planet. And thus the Raghu dynasty was able to purify themselves. The success came because each generation was constantly trying to purify themselves. And each generation wasn't starting from zero. They took over what was left behind by the previous generation. And this led to a chained accumulation of pious merit, which together allowed for which together attracted the Ganges river to come down to the earthly planet. If the other method was used, which was to get lots of people to pray to the Ganges river, then the success rate would actually be lower. Not impossible, but lower. Because wherever there's an accumulation of people or a crowd, not everyone's going to have the same determination. And that at the same time, wherever there's a crowd, not everyone's going to have the same opinion. And sometimes there'll be conflict. So we have these two methods of spreading Krishna consciousness. And both are required for successful advancement of the Hare Krishna movement all over the world. So Prithu Maharaj and his wife are both Shakti Avesh avatars. As Prabhupada explains here, the jiva can be empowered by the Shakti Tattva to represent the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are different types of tattvas. There's Vishnu Tattva, there's Shakti Tattva, there's Shiva Tattva, and there's the Jiva Tattva. All these tattvas are represented in the Pancha Tattva. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita, Gadadhara, Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Nityananda is Vishnu Tattva. Gadadhara is Shakti Tattva. Advaita Acharya is described as being the incarnation of Sadashiva. And so that means he is a representative of Shiva Tattva. And Srivasadi, or Shivas, is the Jiva. He is representing the Jiva Tattva. We find that the Pancha Tattva is not a Chatur Tattva. Chatur means four, and Tattva means truth. Then what does Pancha Tattva mean? Pancha means five truths. Just from the picture of the Pancha Tattva, we can see that Lord Chaitanya stands above all other truths, which means he represents a fifth truth that is different from the others, an absolute truth. And this can be seen in Lord Chaitanya's philosophy. Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva, inconceivable simultaneous oneness and difference. Lord Chaitanya is one with all the other tattvas, and simultaneously he is different from it. A jiva can be empowered by a deity that represents any of these truths. And as far as our experience goes, one can represent the Supreme Personality of Godhead, like Prithu Maharaj. One can represent Lakshmi, like Queen Archi. And one can even represent Lord Shiva as a Shakti Avesh avatar. And the most famous Shakti Avesh avatar of Lord Shiva is known as Durvasa Muni. He's actually a jiva, and he's a partial expansion of Lord Shiva. So I'll stop over here. Any questions or comments? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So you were talking about the Ganges River and purifying. We find that in the Nectar of Devotion, it is explained that the proclivity to sin is still within the heart, although you may bathe in the Ganges River, but the proclivity to sin is within the heart. and to remove that sin, the seed of sin, the bij from the heart, is to chant the holy names. And only by the process of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he has given us, the chanting of the holy names, can that proclivity to sin be eradicated, extricated from the heart altogether. So we may go and bathe in Ganges, but when we come out, then we sin again. It's there. But by the process of Harinam Sankirtan, then we stop these activities of sinning, and we remove altogether the last tinge of sin within the heart. So it purifies the heart. I was just going to make that comment.
Thank you for that comment. This is the special privilege of the Hare Krishna movement that's not offered anywhere else in any of the other ages. Is there anyone else who want to say anything? Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.